May have gotten off track a little bit, but here's this clearly defined road I told you about. So hopefully from here on out, it should be just a straight shot, just following this road all the way into the mountains. All right, on the clock, barely a mile, 26 minutes. Looking around, you can see a lot of animal tracks here. These are clearly hooves. I believe they're hooves. And judging by the deepness, the weight of this animal, I would say it's probably bighorn sheep. Could be donkey. There are wild donkeys out here, but something with hooves. So I'm guessing bighorn sheep. We're gonna keep going. Long ways to go. Probably a healthy 3.5 miles to the pass that we've got to climb over, and it's mostly uphill, kind of slow going. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll keep on going, and 2 hours from my doorstep, most of which are on dirt, and then several hours hiking 5 miles just to get to this destination. It takes significant effort to get out here, significant effort. So fortunately, you're watching the video and I'm doing the hard work, dodging cactus, tracking animals, staying alert for predators. The only predator we have to worry about, that I'm concerned about, is mountain lion. And there's coyotes out here, but they're usually pretty docile. Mountain lions would generally avoid people too, but just in case, a mountain lion is probably the only apex predator out here. Unless there's something that has not been seen before. And you never know. There was the incident of the phantom footsteps. And then a sense of foreboding, so you never know what you may run into. A lot of footprints on this trail. You know what? Call me crazy, but take a look at this. I'll be damned if that doesn't look like a Sasquatch print. So you got the heel right here, and you got toes right here, and then here's the outline. That looks like a barefoot. That looks like a bare footprint. A person or Sasquatch footprint with a heel and toes. It sure does, but there's only one of them. So maybe it's not a footprint, I don't know. If it is, it's a left foot, and there should be a right foot around here somewhere, but I only see this one footprint. Because there's my footprint, a boot footprint. It could be shadows, maybe I'm seeing things, but yeah, that looks like a Sasquatch print. I don't think there's Sasquatches here. There's never been any reported Sasquatches. But remember, like I said, this is extremely remote. It's extremely hard to get here. You can't hunt out here. It's a wildlife preserve. So there's really no reason for people to come out here but hikers. And very few people come out here. So it's not outside the realm of possibility for there to be some sort of an unknown animal or beast or life form or something out here. We'll just have to stay vigilant, because this area could really creep me out the last time I was here. Coming along here, any kind of footprints we see are going to be very obvious. Looking back, you can't see it because of the sun, but my footprints, my big size 12s are very obvious. Any kind of animal or beast or whatever, we'll see their footprints out here. I'm pretty sure we're going the right way. It's not really a road, more of a wash. But a lot of these washes are washes because they were roads at one point in time. Nature's just taking them back. So I'm fairly certain this is the right way we're going. At any rate, it is the right direction. That's the mountains up there. And it's mostly uphill over somewhat rugged terrain, so we're just gonna have to keep going, get to our destination. It's not gonna be an easy day, but I had been planning on this hike for a long time, and I wanted to knock it out before it gets cold. Because here in Nevada, it could be hot 100-degree days, and a few weeks later you got snow. So you never know. But we've been up here maybe 4 times looking for this lost truck. And like I said, I received a tip from a good authority that there is this truck up here. The one we found, that's that old Model A or Model T, whatever it was, that they're using as a sawmill, that was not the truck. There's another one, and I believe it's in that same general area. Like I said, there are 2 points, possible anomalies on Google Earth, and that's what we're checking out today. We'll just keep our eyes open, because the area we're passing through is where that sense of foreboding was. So You never know what we'll run into. I've got the approximate route mapped out, even though there's no road. And while we are going in the general direction, the actual road we're supposed to be on is farther this way. And I'd rather stay on that road where it's smooth to hike more or less than going through a wash. So what I'm doing is traversing cross country, trying to get to where that old road is. I know what they do in the days before GPS. I have to rely on maps for this kind of stuff and not know where we are. I mean, they'll both get us to where we're going. I'm just trying to stick to that old road. For one, it's on a ridge line, and I know there's a cell signal up there just in case. We're not lost, I promise. I just think the road is further this way, so I'm gonna go down and then back up, and that should get us there. Like I said, it's pretty clearly defined road, so that's what I kind of like to stick to. Play it safe instead of traversing cross country. If I can find it, I'm just kind of coming at an angle, because that's where we do need to go, is south, and that's the way we're going. Yeah, this is it. I think this is it. This should be the road. You just really can't tell. Slightly more overgrown than last time I was here. Well, at any rate, we're going to keep following this anyway. It'll get us where we're going. This is a wash, but according to GPS, the road is still further this way. I could see the track I have marked and the old road that's on the guide GPS app I use, so it's farther this way. I just like to stick with familiar terrain if I can. I think there's another wash. But if I remember correctly, and it's just hard to see where this road is now. Well, I guess we can follow this wash for a while. It's kind of going to where we need to go. Just don't want to get off path too much. We are way off. I found the road. Like I said, it is a clearly defined road. And this is what I remember. So yeah, the other way could have taken us there. But the rougher the terrain, the harder it goes, the more energy you exert, and the more difficult it is. In case you haven't noticed, this is one of our difficult, extreme long-range hikes. So I'm trying to keep it as easy as possible, because I know we've got to climb that ridge line later, and that's going to be a monster. I've been out there before, I know how steep it is. We could do it, it's going to be tough. But the prize on the other side of that ridge could very well be the lost truck. Not Kenny Veach's truck, an old lost logging truck. So don't leave a comment saying, oh, that's not Kenny Veach's truck. Well, no, duh. It's an old lost logging truck. But it is in the Kenny Veach universe because it's about 10 to 15 miles north of where Kenny Veach's phone was found. So it's not outside the realm possibility he forgot his phone at the mine and continued on. So for now, we did find the road, and we're going to continue on the road up into the mountains. We got a long ways to go. On the clock, 1.4, not 1.50 miles, so a mile and a half. It means a healthy 3 miles to go uphill. Not a lot by our standards, but it is uphill, and there's going to be some rugged terrain as we get in the forest up there. Just keep going. Vaguely remember this last time I was here. It's just some broken bottle. It's an old bottle, but it's just signs of civilization that somebody was here. And that's the whole reason we're coming, is evidence that somebody was here so many years ago. Old artifacts, a possible old logging truck that was just abandoned in these mountains during a logging operation many years ago. Anything interesting, and most important of all, any evidence of Kenny Veach. Now, I don't think that broken bottle has anything to do with Kenny Veach. And personally, I think it's unlikely that he came this far, but it is a possibility. And some folks have even commented and said, you know, look, what if Kenny just kept on going deep, deep, deep into the Sheep Mountains. Well, this is probably about, you know, a day's hike from Joe May Road, which means he would have to camp right around this area, or more pretty much the forest area where we're going, where we felt that sense of foreboding. And if he did camp out there, did something get him? And if so, what? That's one thing. If it is something that got him, I hope we don't find out. All right, down and up. I do remember this section from our last hike out here. Making progress. Continue on this road and just keep on going. We hit the 2 mile mark in the trailhead. 70 minutes, 600 foot elevation gain. You can see this vast kind of forested area out there. There's a lot of points on Google Earth that I've seen I want to check out. But it's almost impossible to hike to them while you need a helicopter. Drone is nice for short range recon, but it won't see through trees. Helicopter might be kind of nice, might be able to put you down in a spot close to some of these areas, but just a lot of anomalies. And some of the stuff out here is so old that nature's taking the land back, you really can't tell. You can just see kind of a brief glimpse of what could be something, which is why we're coming up here, up into these strange and mysterious mountains, to see if that strange anomalies we've seen on Google Earth is something. So, again, for those of you who say, you know, oh, use a dirt bike or do this or do that, look, believe me, boots on the ground is the only way to do this. Maybe horseback, but I don't have an access to a horse, you know, so boots on the ground is the only way to do it. And I'm well suited, my legs are strong. I've done hikes like this. Recently I've been working out quite a bit, at least 2 miles a day, if not 2.5 miles a day. So my legs are in great shape right now, but I'm not 18 anymore. I'm much stronger and have more stamina than somebody my age for things like this because I keep in shape. But again, I'm not 18 anymore, so it is a long, strenuous hike. It's not just a casual walk in the woods. We are a very long way away from the nearest civilization, a long ways. Figure 2 miles to the trailhead, probably 3 miles to the main Alamo Road, and from there, I don't know, I'm guessing 20 miles back to pavement. And then from there, 20 miles into downtown Las Vegas. So it is a long ways. But we'll make it. We're well suited and prepared. Just got to keep our eyes open and be careful. Just a quick break here. 2.33 miles, 81 minutes on the clock. 741 foot elevation gain. You may notice a lot of breaks I take standing. I don't sit down. It's just, for me, it's more comfortable just to kind of stop, you know, just kind of rest standing up and for a minute or so and continue walking. That's just how I do things. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue walking. I know it's going to get a little more rugged as we get into the forest up on the mountain over there. But that's fine. Like I said, I've been out here once before, so I kind of more or less know where to go. We're still on that old road, and then the road will kind of turn into a wash. And then it'll get really rugged. Up into the mountains, it's going to get steep and rugged. There is some debris up near, is it Perkins Springs, I think? I'm not sure. Anyway, there's some debris that washed down from high on the mountain, which is further evidence that there could be the truck or something up there, because the old truck, I found in the old truck video, is just beyond those mountains. So it's in that area. And that's where we gotta go. Okay, that was weird. I was walking right up here, and I felt a burst of air kind of coming under me, like something was running next to me. I looked up and none of the trees were moving. Maybe it was a breeze, but it just felt like, you know, like if you see like a dog or something run past you really quick, and I felt some breeze. That's what it felt like. And I looked up, I didn't see feel the breeze blowing. I feel a slight breeze now. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's my mind playing tricks on me, but it just like a whoosh of warm air went right by me, just kind of at a low level. And again, I'm not saying supernatural, but it certainly could have been, I don't know, it could have been the breeze. There's a slight breeze right now. You can see some of the grass moving, so maybe that's what it was, but it's just kind of weird. Some disturbed earth, something with digging here. Could have been a coyote looking for a bug or something. Hard to say. I would say probably, maybe even a raccoon. I don't know, but something was certainly digging there. A lot of wildlife here. You may not see them, but I guarantee they're everywhere. And it's a great place for them to hide in this kind of wooded area. I'm always cognizant of what animal tracks I see out here. And this in the sun, you can see some definitely clearly defined hoof prints. There's 4 of them right there, so that tells me that more than one was walking, and they look like they're going this way. So, you know, we all know there's bighorn sheep out here, so that's probably what it is. More than likely what it is. But if they were anywhere in this general vicinity, I guarantee they would hear us and smell us and go the other way. Mountain lions, anything else, probably the same thing. They will go the other direction. They stay far away from people. But I am always watching for movement or anything in the bushes around us to make sure nothing's going to jump out. And hopefully we won't be surprised. I mean, mountain lion attacks have been documented. There are mountain lions up here for sure. I've been told by some of the officials they've seen them on game cams up here. So yes, they're definitely mountain lions up here. But I think those are the biggest predator, the biggest documented predator at least. So we'll just keep our eyes open and hopefully we'll be okay. But any certain sense of foreboding would just be, make sure our senses are very much heightened. Dead silence. Except I do hear animals this time. But it's just very quiet up here because this is some of the most remote part of the Sheep Mountains. It's far away from cars, planes, anything else. There's no reason for there to be any sounds of civilization out here. And with the trees muffling any distant sounds, it's just pure silence. But that sense of foreboding was just something I felt, not just something I heard. So I know it wasn't just my imagination. Just GPS 1.3 miles that way to our first point. Basically that area where we found that sense of foreboding. Then from there, a little while further to that hill for the ridge line, then we got to traverse this massive monster hill. And once we get to the top, from there it's not that hard to get to the point where this anomaly is. That might be the old truck. And there's actually 2 points over there, but once we get to the first one, I'll assess how tired I am and what time it is and see if we have time to make it to that second one out there. Saw something run up in the distance. It might have been a chipmunk or a rabbit or something, but some sort of a rodent-sized animal. At any rate, 1.3 miles over rough terrain this way, all uphill, through this wash, and then we'll get there. So we're making decent time, and I feel okay. On the clock, 10:24 a.m., hour 46 minutes, almost right at 3 miles. Now remember this from last time I was here. It almost looks like somebody poured cement here, but I think it's a natural formation, part of a huge rock or something. Just looks like buried cement. Keep on going. Making progress. You pass obstacles like this so we can just kind of duck under. Careful not to hit our head. And keep on moving. It's tiring because it's all uphill. So going back should be much easier. Because downhill then. It's noticeably colder up here. I can feel a breeze. Let's take a look here at Mr. Garmin. And here in just a minute here. So I'm trying to get on the home page here. Trip computer, can you see it? Temperature 71 degrees. Elevation 7,100 feet. So that's what we're looking at right now. 71 degrees. Which is fine, because I'm working up a sweat. Now for those of you wondering about the technical part here, for the GoPro, I have 2 extra lenses for it. One for close-up and one for wide angle. I was not able to bring the wide angle lens on this, so we were looking through this through the standard lens. But in other trips we'll bring those specialized lens. I could have grabbed them. I just unfortunately forgot to throw them in my backpack at this time. So we'll get them next time. I do have that selfie extension stick that when it's prudent, we'll use that one as well when we need to get in a hard to reach areas. Let's keep going up this wash, which I think it was the old road at one point in time. We've got close to a mile till we're in the forested area. We felt that sense of foreboding and there's an old animal corral up there too. And we'll be in that general vicinity in about a mile. But you can see how slow we're walking. Stop taking a quick break here. The clock 2 hours, 3.43 miles, almost 1,200 foot elevation gain. So we're making progress, and it is a strenuous hike. So I've grabbed some cranberries, sweetened dried cranberries to snack on. It's actually part of the school lunches for the local school district here. I've got a relative who works there, and they have a lot of extras, so they give them out rather than throw them away. So they make it their way to my backpack, and I bring them on these hikes. So that's what it is. You can always tell when you're in the forest, because you can hear the wind in the trees sound like a freight train going by. We're making progress. We're definitely in the forested area, close to where I sense that sense of foreboding. But I know there's some meadows up here. It's past the meadows. And it's at the deepest part of this mountain, the base of a ridge line, where there's a spring. And keep in mind, there's a spring with an animal trough for water, and there are some bones in the area. So it is very likely that's a place where any possible predators took their prey and probably live close to a water source. So as we get close to the spring, we'll have to be careful. Let's keep on going. We're not going to get there just standing still jibber-jabbing. The only thing we'll get is cold. I'm sweating, so I'm staying keeping me warm. But if we stand still too long, it'll start getting chilly. Not much sign of civilization. This part of the hike, and closer we get to the top of this hill, to that ridge line we've got to cross, you'll see some signs of civilization. I remember this. I think I remember this tree being here, but it's dead now, and it was not dead the last time I saw it. So I think I remember climbing over this. Let's see. All right, that should make things a little easier, I guess. So I'm gonna watch our footing. Don't want to fall on one of these broken branches and impale ourselves. Okay, made it past that. We'll keep going. I just checked GPS, and we are 1.28 miles from this possible truck. It is uphill, it is rough terrain, and then there is some extreme climbing we have to do up a hillside. But 1.28 miles as the crow flies from our destination. I think this is doable. So let's keep on going and get to that point, and if we're lucky, there'll be something interesting there. If we're not, then it's just a day out in the woods getting exercise. This is one of the meadows that I knew I had to pass to get to the point we're going. The first part by the spring where the animal corral was. I remember coming by here and saying this would be an ideal place to build a cabin. Right in that clearing over there somewhere. Perfect place. But there's nothing here that I can see. There is some debris farther up, which we'll be checking out. And I'll show you that once we get to it. But for now, there's just it's just an open field. But you gotta look carefully, because you never know what you may find until you get right on the spot. That animal corral we found up here, I don't know, it was an animal corral till we're literally right there. Nature sometimes does a good job of taking our land back once people have left. Okay, we're here in the forest, and on On the clock, we've got 2 hours and 20 minutes, 4 miles, 1,400-foot elevation gain. And I did eat breakfast, but I'm still a little bit hungry and I don't want to stop for lunch yet. So I've got another snack. Cranberries just didn't cut it. I've got Old Wisconsin snack bites, turkey sausage bites. They're not a sponsor, but if anyone for the company is listening and wants to send me some of these for these hikes, I'm more than happy to give your company a shout out. But I will say that these are viewer recommended, so you know who you are. Thank you for the recommendation. Old Wisconsin snack bites. They're actually pretty tasty. Turkey. And I'm going to snack a couple of these and keep on moving. Keep my eyes open. But I want to walk and eat, and heaven forbid an animal smell this and want a closer look. Well, that was tasty. Onward. I feel a little bit better. Nothing like a little bit of protein to give you some energy. Quick pause and rest in place. Approaching some rugged areas, so I'm just going an uphill. No, that'll get us where we're supposed to go. Still smelling that smell of pine in the air. Something I smell a whole lot of down Las Vegas Valley. There's just no trees like this there. All right. Less than a quarter mile from the animal corral. Should be just right up here a little bit. And less than half a mile from the farthest point we've been before, which is the base of that huge, monstrous hill we need to climb. But once we get to the top of this hill, it shouldn't be as steep going back down to that point where that strange anomaly is. And then coming back, we need to only get to the top of that hill. And from there, it's pretty much all downhill the whole way back to the truck. Just traversing this uneven terrain, rough terrain, pretty much a wash or a dried creek bed is what it is. May have been a road at one time, but it's not anymore. So you get these higher elevations, it gets colder and more rugged. And I'm pretty sure there was a logging operation up here at one time, but it was a long time ago. Like I said, there could have been a road here at one time, but whatever it is, nature's taking it back. All right, let's keep on going.
Due to technical difficulties that I experienced while editing the videos, unfortunately most of the footage was lost, and this 30 minutes or so was all I was able to preserve. But I do have some images that I can show you, which kind of goes over the rest of the hike. You could see how far out I was. I was at the deepest part of the sheep range, north of Las Vegas. This was about, 12 to 15 miles from the old mine where Kenny Veach forgot his cell phone. So it is within the realm of possibility he could have been up in the area. I continued on and had lunch. It was chicken and dumplings. I sat at the peak after I climbed this monster hill, which I really wish I got on video because it was a hellacious climb. It was just really intense. But I did get to the top, and like I said, I had a quick lunch, and this was about a quarter mile from this anomaly on Google Earth where this old truck was supposed to be. Once I finished lunch, I continued on. This was once I got to the top of this hellacious hill, and I just stopped and took a quick picture right here, and you can kind of see the elevation. Here's a view of the lunch spot. You're looking down in the valley where this old truck was supposed to be. There is some logging activity down there, so I had to go down this hill through some rough terrain into this valley and look for any evidence of this old lost truck that was on Google Earth. It was just kind of a weird pattern on Google Earth that unfortunately did not turn out to be fruitful. Here's after I went down to the actual area where the truck was. You could see me in the forested area, just looking around for any kind of evidence that this truck or any kind of activity related to it was there. So when I actually got to the location of the truck, this is all I found. So obviously old cans were not seen on Google Earth, but it just goes to show that there was some activity out there, some old cans, there were some cut down trees. Definitely evidence that there was some logging activity out there. but unfortunately this old truck with this giant boom on the back, it was not there. Now you can see this old Shasta orange can. This was one of the cans in my original Lost Truck video, but something like this was really the most prominent artifact I found because it had some printing on it. You can still kind of see. So here's the actual old truck, and search for the Lost Truck video. This is what I found in the past video. This is the only truck I found. This was an old Dodge Brothers truck, I guess, possibly 1920s, I think it was, and it was evidently used for an old sawmill. And what they do is, with the engine still in the truck, they basically strip the entire truck and just use the engine to drive the sawmill. There'll be a blade on the back there that just kind of moves the logs over this truck, and that's what they use to trim down the logs. But this is not the truck I'm looking for. This truck here, I mean, like I said, used as a sawmill. You can't really see the logs that are kind of stacked up that they used to kind of push the trees on the back, but with the tires and off and everything stripped, I'm pretty sure this is being used as a sawmill. But the truck I'm looking for, I was told, is probably a newer model. It has a boom on the back, and I'm assuming that is what they use to carry cut down trees to this point, and it is still out there somewhere. So you could see darn near 12 miles hiking, and towards the bottom right there, that's the area that I was searching, and I do believe that somewhere out there is this old truck with a boom on the back. It's a little bit better condition than that sawmill. There's trees growing through it, at least one or more trees growing through it. It's been there for a very long time. But the individual who told me about this truck is a good authority, so I do believe it is more than likely out there somewhere. Everything I found, the evidence just support the existence of this truck. It is out there. There's probably more artifacts out there, and most important of all, it is entirely possible that any evidence related to Kenny Veach could be out there as well. So until the next time, my friends, we will see you on the next adventure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post a new one. All of my videos are unscripted as they happen. I can't promise they'll be exciting, but I can promise they'll be 100% real. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures.